Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the 33rd review of the Bubblegum Diaries playlist. So for this, we will be taking a look at Blow Pops, Bazooka Blow Pops. So I have looked into this a little bit. We'll be going over the packaging over the desk here, and I'll be showing you the product. It would appear to be being made under license. And it's distributed by a smaller candy company, but it's not clear if that candy company is actually making them. It's worded as distributed. So, for those willing to make a small donation to the channel for the core content, not stuff like this, there is a PayPal link in the description. I thank you for your consideration. It helps a great deal. This playlist and another review from it will pop up on screen in the last 20 seconds of this video. As for sourcing, I funded the product personally. It was a couple bucks, I believe. There's only 6 blow pops in there, so like I'm going to be saving the packaging, let me put it that way, to make it worth it to me, to prove that this once existed. I sourced it locally at a gift shop at the front of a Cracker Barrel. Alright, so that's where I found it. We're going to take it over the desk, take a closer look at the packaging and the product inside. Back in a moment. Okay, and here we are. So it is pretty clear as to what it is, or what they're claiming it is. I'm seeing assorted flavors and 3. There are 6 pops, so I'm guessing there are 2 of each. Do note they are saying green apple. In the candy world, green apple usually means a Granny Smith at least. Leaning tart / sour. It is a hanger bag. It is clear towards the bottom. It is net weight 3.6 ounces, which is 102 grams for those overseas. Going around to the back, you have the nutrition facts, such as they are. 6 servings per container. And then you have the ingredients, which are turmeric. What's the last ingredient? Okay, that's the last thing I would have expected, but I don't really know about things of that nature. It does contain soy, and it is packaged in a facility where peanuts, tree nuts, milk, and wheat are present. And then, something I did not notice on my own before, it is a product of Colombia. So, here you thought that their only export was cocaine. Guess again, silly you. And then it has the registered trademark information, barcode, and the fact that it is being distributed by Palmer Candy Company out of Sioux City, Iowa. That is not to be confused with the Palmer Candy Company out of Reading, Pennsylvania. They do have a pretty nice website. I did check it out, trying to get a fix on as to who's actually making it. And with that, we are going to cut the bottom because I cannot cut the top without goofing up the original of the original Bazooka. I do want to note, though, that they do have a pretty clear, and you will be able to see it, Best Buy, which is 4/1/2026. So that's good. Anyway, with that, I am going to cut with scissors. I am expecting a blow pop. However, what I initially thought when I bought this was that this was a rebranded Charms product. Charms blow pops, and it evidently is not. We'll find out definitively in a minute. It is wrapped super tight at the bottom, sort of a little too loose for my liking up top. And then they actually have the flavors on the top tabs. So this is going to be cherry. Now, the only question here is, okay, that does come off fairly easy, all right. Because I do not leave the wrappers on these at all. And you have something that looks very similar to a Charms Blow Pop, but we will find out in a minute. The big test, I guess, here will be, which I plan on pausing while I get the candy lollipop down, is whether there's a Bazooka flavored bubblegum inside this. That said, I have not had any Bazooka flavors besides the grape and the original in a very long time, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to gauge that properly. We will take it back up top. I will be back in a moment. Okay, and we are back. So, guess I should have smelled that first. Candy cherry smell. Candy cherry flavor, although it does seem a little darker than most. As for the product inside, I'm seeing 2 grapes, a cherry that is not in my mouth right now, a second one, and 2 more grapes. So I'm not going to be able to definitively tell you what the apple's like, which is fine because I probably wouldn't overly care for it. I got 4 grapes here, seriously? Let me check these again. I feel like I'm pulling air through this somewhere. Yeah, 4 grapes. So it's your standard cherry, candy cherry flavor. It is seeming a little bit darker to me. Almost like they're using like some sort of like black cherry, which is interesting. 4 grapes and 2 cherries, so in a way I'm sort of okay with that. I usually don't like the green apple flavors. I'm going to pause it while I get this worked down until we get to the gum. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm not down to the gum yet, but I have figured out why I feel like I'm pulling air on this thing. It's not through the pop itself, but if I put the entirety of it in my mouth and suck in, it's because, I don't know if you can even see that, the sticks are hollow. I don't know why. They're not using the Charms paper sticks. So if I'm down here with my lips, I'm actually drawing air out of the pop through the end that is in the pop. Okay, Columbia. Okay, so I've been sucking on this thing now for, I don't know, like 5 minutes, and this is still where I'm at. And basically, the pop has developed ears. That's about as far as I could get. It's got ears now, which is sort of unsettling. I'm just gonna, I was trying to like do myself a favor, like tooth-wise, by not biting into this. I am wondering though, like how much gum is in this now, because this thing's like really small compared to what it was. That, and I'm wondering if this is going to throw things off, because it does say original Bazooka bubblegum. Maybe the cherry is only the candy shell. I don't know, but here we go. Because I'm impatient. Uh, there's not much gum in it at all. Mind you, Blow Pops by Charms don't have much either. I'm trying to judge if there's a flavor, a Bazooka bubblegum flavor going on here, but with the cherry, it's going to be hard. Technically, I should be able to chew the cherry off, but I'm wondering if the gum will chew off at the same rate. That's what you're looking at. So there's no bubble possible here. I'm not picking up any Bazooka original flavor, which is very easy for me to identify. But with that much crushed cherry candy in it, even if it is there, I don't know if I'd be able to identify. The pop was really good. The cherry they did there was really good. Very familiar candy cherry flavor, except for it was a little darker. It makes me believe that maybe there was a dark cherry, which is also sometimes used and sort of is the same across the market. But gum-wise, I'm not saying it's any worse than a blow pop. It's the same amount of gum, probably. But heavy staining in the mouth. So, if you want something in common with your, 4-year-old nephew, that may be a draw to this. All in all, I'm going to try the grape. Flavor-wise, it's good. It's got gum that when you break it apart, it sort of holds all the shattered pieces and you crunch them up, and that's good too. The gum, in my mind, is sort of at a size that's really, not usable for long. That's what you're talking about there. All right, so it is actually a little more pink in person. It's not bad, and I think it was a little under $2. The price is all right, even for just 6 of them. But I don't know. If you're a big Bazooka fan and you collect stuff, because people do collect stuff from that brand, like imagery stuff. Yeah, I mean, you may want to check it out. If you like blow pops, again, you may want to check it out. The blow pop aspect, the flavors are pretty good. I'm going to try the grape right now. It's all right. It's not as good as the cherry, but I would normally, of my own accord, lean towards anything cherry candy-wise anyway. Not the worst grape I've ever had. All in all, it's sort of like how much do you like lollipops? The stick's interesting because I noticed. I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know. That's probably a little bit too much to ask of the Colombians. If you have suction on the pop and it comes in and you go past the pop and your lips close on this thing, it doesn't allow any more suction. Am I saying the Colombians are forward thinking and are trying to protect their children from choking on lollipops? Not really, but it is sort of interesting that that completely knocks out the suction aspect because you start drawing air through the end. I don't know if that's a thing in the lollipop world, but who am I? Who would I be to know? Anyway, this has been my review of original Bazooka Bubblegum Pops. I am Suit&Tie, Dip&ChewGuy. We just spent 15 minutes talking about lollipops and bubblegum. I am also confused. I do hope you all are well. As always, do take care of yourselves, and God bless.